tired of good girls?
Good night, Charlie.
Ready for some real excitement? Looking for someone incredibly seductive?
Do you know how to use your lips, Charlie?
Rescue me, or take me in your arms.
Then this is your lucky night.
Welcome to Fright Night.
Fright Night 2.
I kill vampires.
Enter a world where each embrace takes your breath away.
Come kiss me.
Maybe it's the full moon, Charlie.
And every kiss is a killer. Roddy McDowall, William Ragsdale.
Do you mind if I borrow these?
If you thought one was fun, wait till you do two. Fright Night 2.
Oh, man.
Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to another movie review. And before I start the review, just want to say, you guys are going to be getting two videos from me today. One, which is this review, and of course the Monday Night Raw review later on tonight. So enjoy the double upload for today, guys. But if you guys remember, last Monday I reviewed the original Fright Night from 1985, which I really enjoyed, and I said that I was going to review the sequel, which that's what this review is going to be on. It's going to be on Fright Night Part 2. Film came out in 1988 and stars Roddy McDowall, William Ragsdale, Traci Lind, Julie Carmen. John Gries is also in this. But watched this for the first time today, and it's a very underrated sequel. But I enjoyed Part 2. It's a good sequel, in my opinion. I like that Roddy McDowall and William Ragsdale reprised their role from the first film. And of course, Roddy McDowall reprised his role as Peter Vincent. William Ragsdale ended up reprising his role as Charley Brewster. But when this came out, the film did not do that well. The first film was a hit when it came out. I forgot to say that in my review last week. The first Fright Night was a hit. It made $24 million at the box office, and it had a budget of $79 million, and it was one of the best horror films. It was one of the best horror films that was released during that summer in 1985. So when Part 2 came out, the film did not do that well. And the reason why it did not do that well is because the chairman of, I think it was Live Entertainment, or Carolco Pictures, I think that's how you pronounced it. There was going to be a meeting, and it was going to have Tom Holland and Roddy McDowall coming back to do a possible third Fright Night film. But the chairman, who was Jose Melendez, was murdered by his sons. And because of that, it ended up stopping a possible third film, and it also interfered with the release of Fright Night Part 2. And it got a limited theatrical distribution in theaters. And then it was also just dumped on VHS. So the film did not do that well because of that. It only made $2 million at the box office. And from that, it just feels, it just feels very forgotten about. That's why I say it's a very underrated sequel. I mean, people, know the first Fright Night, but not many people talk about Fright Night Part 2. And the film was released on DVD back then, but it's very hard to find and out of print. It's been out of print for years. I think I saw one copy of the DVD on eBay, and it went for $200. So it's very sought after on a DVD. But there is a Blu-ray that I saw that came up on eBay. It was a on-demand Blu-ray, so it was a region-free Blu-ray, which you could find on eBay. I think it's for cheap on eBay. It's like $30 from this copy that I saw. There's one going for $14. So if you can get your hands on that, if you don't have Fright Night Part 2 in your Blu-ray collection, pick it up. But basically, Fright Night Part 2 is it takes place 3 years after the first film. We see Charley Brewster, who is played by William Ragsdale, and as the film ends up opening, we see him in therapy. And I guess he was in therapy after, what he went through in the first film, where his therapist is actually played by Ernie Sabella. And it was cool to see Ernie Sabella in the film. Of course, you all know him. He did the voice of Pumbaa, Timon and Pumbaa from The Lion King. So it was good to see him there. But he ended up telling Ernie Sabella's character that Jerry Dandridge, Chris Sarandon from the first film, was nothing but a serial killer. And that he was just a serial killer posing as a vampire. So he was telling Ernie Sabella's character, I believe that vampires never existed. And I'm like, Jerry Dandridge was a vampire in the first film. You saw, he had the fangs, he had the claws. So technically, he was a vampire killing these women. We've seen it. We saw it in the first film. So I'm like, I don't know why Charley Brewster thinks that Chris Sarandon as Jerry Dandridge was just a serial killer. It showed that he was a vampire. So, but Charley Brewster, William Ragsdale's character, he's in college. He has a new girlfriend, Alex Young, who is played by Traci Lind. And one night, Charlie ends up seeing these 4 people go into an elevator. He starts to become drawn to one of the 4 of those people, and he's drawn to this woman named Regine, who is played by Julie Carmen. So you have in one scene where Charlie ends up dreaming about Regine, played by Julie Carmen, and she visits him in his apartment, and we see her bite him, eventually turning him into a vampire, which, of course, we find out that Regine is a vampire, and her 3 other guys, her servants, are also vampires. So, it's up to Charlie, William Ragsdale, and Peter Vincent, played by Roddy McDowall, to stop her and her servants, from killing anybody else, there. But basically, that's what the plot to the film is about. And I liked a certain other part of the film where Regine actually ended up biting Charlie, and he's slowly becoming a vampire because she ended up biting him when he was sleeping. The next day, he ends up going out. He starts to show signs of being a vampire, where he ends up eating this pizza, and the woman ends up telling him, "Oh, it has garlic in it." So he spits it out, and he's wearing, the dark sunglasses. And we have, of course, towards the end, almost the end of the film, where we see Charlie slowly turn into a vampire. And he's all disoriented, which I thought that was a pretty nice part that they put in the story. making, Charlie, slowly become a vampire, progressively turn into a vampire. So I thought that was pretty cool. But William Ragsdale as Charlie, still a likable character here. I enjoyed him in the first film. I enjoyed him here. Roddy McDowall, Peter Vincent, love that character. In the film, he still has his Fright Night show that we saw him do in the first film. But later on during the film, we find out that he has been fired, and Regine actually took his place as the host. And we find out a little about Regine. She ended up revealing to Roddy McDowall, Peter Vincent, that she is, this is a spoiler though, we find out that Regine is the sister of Jerry Dandridge, Chris Sarandon's character from the first film. And she has come to get revenge on Charlie and Peter. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, how did she know that Charlie and Peter killed her brother? That is something I question, as I think of it. So, but I said, William Ragsdale, Roddy McDowall, they both did awesome in their roles. Really very, very likable characters. Reprising their characters from the first film. Alex, who was played by Traci Lind, I thought she was pretty decent. Julie Carmen as Regine, she was pretty good here. She played a smooth kind of not too crazy vampire character. Just very calm. You have John Gries, or Jonathan Gries, who plays Louis, who is one of Regine's servants, and his character ends up taking a liking to Alex, played by Traci Lind. And Jonathan Gries, I think that's how you pronounce his last name. He's been films that I liked. He was in Real Genius with Val Kilmer. The Monster Squad, where he ended up playing the Wolfman. The Monster Squad is another film that I really enjoyed. That's a very fun film. And of course, he's best known for Uncle Rico in Napoleon Dynamite. But he was pretty enjoyable in this film. You have Russell Clark, who played Belle, who is another one of Regine's servants. And he was also a choreographer in the film. And Brian Thompson, who played Bosworth, another one of Regine's servants, where he eats bugs. But you can have some awesome looking makeup in the film. That's Julie Carmen as Regine, her makeup there, which is very cool looking. I like the makeup here. Pretty cool. And you also have some cool scenes also. The scene where John Gries is in the library and he's trying to kill William Ragsdale, Charlie, and William Ragsdale's character, Charlie, ends up taking these roses, which are very, of course, harmful to vampires. He takes the roses, he crams it into John Gries' character, Louis' mouth, and his mouth goes on fire. And then you also have another scene with Louis where he ends up getting killed from the window, and he falls into a fountain. So that was pretty cool scene there. And then you get to the scene where Alex and Peter end up going to Regine's lair to try to save Charlie. We find Charlie being disoriented, and he slowly turned into a vampire because of Regine. And Regine ends up going, "Welcome to Fright Night." That's how she talks in the film. Just very calm, very smooth vampire that she's playing, like I said. But after she said that, and she raises her arms up, and you see the flames on the candle all go up. I thought that was pretty cool. And the way that Charlie ends up killing Bosworth, who's played by Brian Thompson, he claws his chest, and you see the worms and all the bugs and the dirt that comes out of his stomach, which that was really cool, a little bit gross to see. The way how they kill Russell Clark, Bell, is they end up trapping him in like this robe, this red robe, and pretty cool effect where you see the skull, it glows a little bit, and then it starts to melt. That was pretty cool effect there. And the way they kill Regine is Peter Vincent, Roddy McDowall, takes this piece of glass and he ends up shining it, and it turns Regine into fire, and she gets in the coffin, and it goes up in flames, and you see kind of Regine's like hand or arm in skeleton form, and then it goes on the ground. I thought that was a pretty cool effect there. And you have, before all that, Regine is just destroying the elevator with Roddy McDowall on top of it. So, but that's pretty much Fright Night Part 2, though. But it's a very good sequel. It's very underrated. I would say give it a watch if you enjoyed the first film, and it's definitely worth watching. If you liked the first film, just very cool makeup, very cool effects, and everyone in the film does a good job. Now, originally, Tom Holland was going to come back to direct the film, but he went to go work on Child's Play with Chris Sarandon, and there was an original draft to the film where it was going to have Amanda Bierce reprising her role as Amy Peterson, and Evil Ed, played by Stephen Jeffries. They were originally going to come back, but Amanda Bierce ended up going on to work on, of course, Married with Children, where she ended up playing Marcy. And Stephen Jeffries went on to do that film 976 Evil, which, why would you bring Stephen Jeffries back if this script for Fright Night Part 2 went through the original script, when Evil Ed ended up dying in the first film? Roddy McDowall ended up killing him. So I wouldn't see the point if this original draft went through for the film. Why would you bring Stephen Jeffries back when he was killed in the first film? So, but yeah, they were going to come back, but unfortunately, they went on to other roles. So, but anyways, Fright Night Part 2, underrated film, very good sequel, and definitely give it a watch. But this is a bootleg DVD that my friend let me borrow. He said he picked this up at a convention. You can see it has the white disc there. But so yeah, so pick up Fright Night Part. Well, check out Fright Night Part 2. I was gonna say pick it up. I'm like, yeah, if you want to come across the Blu-ray on eBay, definitely pick it up. So, but yeah. So anyways, that's it for my review of Fright Night Part 2. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoy this review. And definitely give the video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all later tonight with the Monday Night Raw review, which I know is going to be another abysmal, shitty garbage edition of Monday Night Raw. And it's the go-home show for Fastlane. So, see you all later tonight with the Monday Night Raw review.